But the quorum for consensus has always been 12.
Beyond compare.
Can you briefly tell us what does the Nigerian Governors Forum actually stand for?
I want to say thank you to all Nigerians in diaspora. The Nigerian Governors Forum is a group of friends who are elected as governors along the 36 states. It's a peer group review mechanism, it's meant to collaborate with the federal government policies. So they meet time to time to review security challenge, education, polio, and other issues. And part of the major thing is to sustain our democracy. So that is the major focus of the Nigerian Governors Forum.
Very well. In the Nigerian context as well, we know now, as you rightly explained, more enlightened about the Nigerian Governors Forum. But there is a situation whereby people are a bit confused that there are one or two Nigerian Governors Forum. Can you narrate the situation?
Well, there is only one Nigerian Governors Forum. Are you good? Yes. You see, there is only one Nigerian Governors Forum. In a family, there are rooms for disagreement. And I'll let you know that very shortly, the disagreement they have will be resolved. But let me make a point of a very important point before you. From the session of Nigerian Governors Forum, we've never had any election. It has always been by consensus. I think I'm in a better position to speak about Nigerian Governors Forum because I have spent 7-8 years working closely with the Nigerian governors. I was their pioneer consultant when Saraki was chairman Governors Forum. I contributed immensely in rebranding the forum to where it is today. So from beginning, it has always been a consensus. And it was never based on political affiliation. It was not political. It was not an opposition. Like I said earlier, it was a peer group to help contribute to the development of the nation. So today, the Nigerian Governors Forum is headed by the governor of Plateau State by consensus, because it has always been by consensus. Okay, and I would like to say that people are using the forum to play politics against 2015, those who have ambition for 2015 and stuff like that. I'd also like to let you know that the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria did not and was never part and parcel of the consensus agreement of Jang. The Northern Governors Forum were the ones who nominated Jang as their consensus candidate. And he was brought forward to the PDP, which is the majority party. The PDP, they have 23 governors in the Nigerian Governors Forum. Yeah. And the PDP governors adopted Jang as a consensus candidate. So based on that, the forum chairman, Jonah Jang, was elected as a consensus candidate.
Is that elected within the 23 PDP governors?
No. If you add the 19 governors forum on the north, and you add the governors from South and the governors from Southeast, we'll be looking at almost 28 governors. But the quorum for consensus has always been 12. When the former chairman, Governor Rotimi Amechi, was made chairman governors forum, they were not up to 13 governors. It was about 7 deputy governors, 5 sitting governors. It was by consensus. There was no voting. There was no election. There was no ballot papers. So it has always been by consensus. So those people that are crying that there was an election, this and that, it's just politics they are playing. They know the truth. But it's so bad that I feel very bad because I have been part of the growth of the Governors Forum. I know what I've put into the Governors Forum in the past 6-7 years to make it strong, to make it a strong body that people can now come around to use as a political tool as against 2015.
Now, of course, because now you're talking about the situation within the Governors Forum, the Bauchi State Governor decided to temporarily withdraw his membership from the Northern Governors Forum. But as of today, it seems like he's going back into the Northern Governors Forum. Why do you think all these changes?
Okay, let me explain that one to you. One, people don't play with integrity. You have to look at the background of the Bauchi State Governor, where it's coming from. When he took that decision, it was based on the fact that how can 19 people that are called leaders of tomorrow, people that the young people want to emulate, people that people want to see and say, who is your role model? I want to be like this, I want to be like that. They sit down in the room and agree on something, and you go behind. That was the first issue. When the northern elders, they started prevailing on him that, look, mistakes have been made, you cannot abandon your zone. So he listened to them and he said, okay, I'm going to remain as a northern governor, but either my deputy or my SSG, they will always attend the meetings. But the issue still remains that he's totally unhappy. That what is the North? The North we used to know is that when they say A is A. So he is totally disappointed, you know. And if you look at it, the integrity of the chairman of Nigerian Northern Governors Forum is being put to test. So those were the key issues that that made the Bauchi State Governor to say that I don't want to be part of it. But whereas a man of integrity who believes in the country called Nigeria, he has overlooked at it and said, look, we must sit down again and find a common ground to move the nation forward.
Right, to move the nation forward, you mentioned, for example, the chairman of the Northern Governors Forum, who happened to be the Niger State Governor, Babangida Ali. Looking at his position, I believe that he has come out to say Rotimi Amici is the chairman. So also the Kano State Governor, Bongoso, who has said Rotimi Amici is the chairman. What's your understanding?
Okay, like I said, you have to look at the dynamics of politics of today. Okay? You look at the people, I first of all told you about 2015. If you watch the utterances of those people, the utterances is always towards Mr. President. Okay? So they saw Amici as a tool. They saw Amici as a collaborator, a PDP member from South South, the president from South South, the best president they can use. They know within their mind that we have never done an election. They know. They are not happy that the forum is being the way it is now. They are not proud. Inside them, they know that every day you open the newspaper, it's about the forum. You know, they are not happy. They are trying to find a way, you know, to see how they can bring everybody back on the ministry. I'm doing my best. I'm communicating with everybody, you know, because I don't believe in division of the Nigerian Governors Forum. So we're trying to see how we can bring them back together. How
do you think this can really happen? Because you have the other DG, Carol, who is as well a Director General by Charter of Nigeria's Governors Forum, who would then step down. Because
you know, it's not for him to say, I'm not going to step down. He's a staff. Okay? He's a staff of the Governors Forum. If you look at the trustees, today there are 6 trustees. Out of the 6, 4 is with Jang. Okay? So the trustees own the forum. So Fashola and Niger, they are the only 2 remaining trustees who believe that, okay, they are with Amici. So if you go by majority, we have 6, 7 trustees. 4 are with Jang. And the trustees control the party. They control the forum. So Okaro is a staff. And they can choose to say, we don't need you. And they have taken that decision that they don't want him.
From the stand of the Nigerian governors?
Yes, because he was partisan. Because he was partisan. The Jang, everybody, they are part and parcel of the Nigerian Governors Forum you talk about. They are all stakeholders. The forum does not belong to the governor of Rivers State. He made the forum united before he became governor. And he should leave the forum united.
Would you say there was an election in the May election? Was there an election? Was there ballot paper passed?
If there was an election, if there was ballot papers, how come other people didn't have a knowledge of the ballot box? They didn't have a knowledge of the papers they were going to use? If Ukaro was being fair as DG, he knew Sherman was in the race, he knew Issa was in the race, did he communicate with them that, look, the method of this election, there's going to be a ballot box, there's going to be ballot papers? No, they didn't tell anybody. They were going to that election for consensus, not for an elected position, not for people to cast their vote. So how do you ascertain those who voted? Because it was not printed.
So was there no voting at all? Was there no?
That's the point I'm asking you. How did they? So ask those who voted. How did they vote?
Now,
the electoral, the standard practice of voting is thumbprint. So how did they vote?
Thumbprint or X.
So they are saying that they were plain newspapers, Amechi, Jang. People had to start taking. No.
Now, there was a video, purported video, about the election.
The video also have a moral burden because one, in the history of Governors Forum, there have never been any recordings of proceedings. The only time media comes in when they are doing their opening and when they have a communique. We have never. So who planted the camera inside the hall? Who did the recording?
One of the governors.
And the governor who did it usually does not come to meetings.
But he did come on this occasion.
That's what I'm saying. For years, since he became governor, he came to meetings twice.
We will presume that's governor of Ekiti State. Fine.
He's not Ekiti State governor, he's Osun governor.
Osun
yes.
State governor.
You can imagine the moral body, you recorded your colleagues and put it on YouTube. So how do you want other governors to trust such people anymore? So there's a disconnect in somewhere. There's a moral, the disconnect is very huge. So it's going to take a long time for them to hear the ones. It's not about Amechi. It's not about whether Jang or Amechi. But other governors are feeling it. So we are colleagues. We come here to share ideas. The forum did not make you governor. The forum did not make Amechi second-term governor of Rivers State. And the forum is not going to make anybody to win an election in your state. It's between you and your people. You're only coming to Abuja to meet as a peer group. You review activities, insecurity. My friend, how are you tackling your head? How is education? When we had teachers strike, those are labor union and stuff like that. Those are the things they do. But when the chiefs come down, it's between you and your people.
Will you then say the forum is it of importance to Nigeria?
It is, because the 36 people are the field marshals of various states. So because you know why Nigerians are paying importance to it, because they are governors, they are head of state in their various units. And money is being allocated to them. We have Nigerian Bar Association, we have Nigerian Medical Association, they're all the same. We have ICA, we have so many, it's freedom of association. But because they are governors, they are elected, and money is being voted into them, so people are looking at them. So the Nigerians made the forum to be like a de facto government in the country.
Yeah, but is it, for example, the BOT chairman of the PDP has called a forum before as something that needs to be scrapped. Will you then agree with him?
It can't say it should be scrapped because, one, the forum is not in the Constitution. You cannot stop people from meeting. It's like you are telling the National Assembly to scrap the BOT from. You are telling the people in the party to scrap the BOT from the PDP. So the BOT is not the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's only the Constitution of the political party.
Now, you did mention, for example, that Mr. President of Goodluck Jonathan of Nigeria has no hand in this situation.
Yes.
But then surely enough, there is an incident between the president and the governor of Rivers State, based on a lot of people presume because he's the chairman of the Governors Forum, and that the PDP... Darkness
and light don't meet. president and the governor of a state, the connection is not there. A governor versus the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, just a unit of 36. So it is those who are using the governors forum to drive policies towards the federal government. Because if you look at how Jang emerged, even when Kwankwaso came out publicly to say, I nominated Jang.
Yes.
That exonerates the president.
Which is true.
Good.
But then, according to their own faction of the story, is they absolutely agree that he emerged as a consensus candidate of the PDP or of the Northern Governors Forum.
No.
Of the Northern
Because one, the people in that forum, the governor of Borno is not PDP. The governor of Zamfara is not PDP. The governor of Nasarawa is not PDP. The governor of Yobe is not PDP. Those are the northern governors who were at the meeting. So why did they not object to it?
No, they all agree that the North can adopt him as a consensus candidate, but if there's another
let me also tell you something you must know. When Saki, former governor of Kwara State, was living as chairman governors forum.
He did 4 years.
Yeah, no, then we didn't have a constitution. Okay? When he was living as chairman governors forum, it was mandatory. It was in our constitution, the vice chairman becomes the chairman. When they got to Ilorin, the whole Southeast governors wrote a letter that they are nominating Peter Obi to be the chairman. But when they got to Ilorin, they said Peter is a minority party. And nobody went to war. Nobody protested.
Can you agree, as a Nigerian,
yes,
that things can change overnight?
I do believe things can change overnight.
And can you agree that Nigeria presently is trying to change our constitution to reflect the need of the people? Definitely, yes. So in that situation, will you then agree that even though the Nigerian Governors Forum in the early days probably have no constitution, that by tomorrow morning they can decide to say this is the way forward for us because we have identified. You have AGM. All the governors are members of the AGM. Yeah. If you are going to change a structure, a system, you must put it on the table. And everybody must agree. If you are doing a constitution, the present vice president was chairman of the Constitutional Drafting Committee of the Nigerian Governors Forum. Enugu governor, Sullivan Chimen, is a governor, is a lawyer. Cross River governor is a lawyer. Fashola, they were all members of the committee. Ask the governor of Lagos State, if there was any time, let him be sincere, he's a governor. If there was any time that the constitution draft, if they agreed that the chairman of the forum should put himself for re-election. What we had was 2 years single term. 2 years single term. So what they are now saying, what they are now saying that in the constitution they brought forward that they sent to the court, it captures 2 years and the chairman can put himself for election. Let them bring the minutes of the forum where all the governors agree. No, where a majority of the governors agree. No. Those who drafted it, they are saying there was never a time we agreed on it. Governor Fashola and the other governors who are lawyers. Now, for an ordinary Nigerian who just follows subtly over the last 3-4 months about the Nigeria's Governors Forum, it has become a big brand. Do you think it really has a big voice for the ordinary Nigerians, or is it just a voice for the already people who have got a big voice? Well, before the crisis,
Governors Forum was the forum to be. You know, you imagine people, you made mention that Chief Aneni said should be scrapped. Every other statement in this country were not comfortable with the forum. What is happening, and many of them, they are happy. They are very, very happy, but they are going to come back strong. Because while they are happy in the past, nothing happens without the forum. When they are going to visit Mr. President, they go as a team, one voice. Okay. Let me let you know, under the leadership of Jang, like I said earlier on, that the forum is not an opposition to federal government policy. The forum was designed to drive and collaborate with federal government policy to the benefit of the ordinary man on the street. We've been able, there has been issues concerning the federal government and the state as regards revenue allocation, revenue sharing, areas, SS code. We had our second meeting after Jang became chairman of Governors Forum. We resolved. The Bauchi State Governor, they all went to the villa. The nominated Bauchi State Governor as the chairman of the committee, to head the committee. Why was he nominated? A chartered banker, MD of two banks, Elan Bank and NAM, was a minister for 7 years before he became governor, so he has the experience. Under 2-3 days, they sat with the Minister of Finance, Minister of State Finance, everybody in the FAC, and at other 5 days, the money was released because we are collaborating. That is what Amichi's leadership lack.
No collaboration.
No collaboration.
So will you say they're acting independently as one of
No, yes, I would like to take that, you know. But now, today, policies of government, policies of the states, we can drive it. Now, 4 governors are going with the president to China.
All from the same party, though?
No. Anambra is not PDP. The president is going to Ogun State on Sunday. Is it a PDP state? No. There are so many non-PDP governors that are benefiting from the president and the PDP governors. But they are now using the forum to play politics of 2015. I know how many times Ogun State governor has traveled with Mr. President. I know how many times Ekiti governor has traveled with Mr. President. So if the president is being partisan about ruling Nigeria, he won't take Ekiti governor. I know how many times the governor of Edo State has traveled with him. So once you are president of the country. That is why he's saying that we cannot discuss politics now. Let's govern. Economy first.
Talking about economy first, Nigeria, good people, great nation. The economic situation in the country. What do you think the Nigerian Governors Forum, under your own leadership, would do for the benefit of these states that are all members of this Governors Forum?
I just told you that under a month, the governor of Plateau State emerged on the 25th of May. That was our first meeting. So June, we have been able to secure allowances, arrears on the FAC account. But I want to assure you that as we continue to collaborate with the federal government, issues concerning the economy, SS growth, sovereign wealth fund, we need to meet ourselves midway, to dialogue. Because the money belongs to the entire country, but does not belong to a group of individuals. Because we have to look at how democracy started, where we are today. The first set of governors did 8 years. You look at where they stopped. You look at this set of governors, where have they been able to take us to? If you go to some states, you can see some drastic developments of your states. So democracy is a continuous thing. We must continue to involve in it and let it grow. So as we collaborate with the federal government, there are some key issues about the economy that even people around the president might not know. Okay? So we need some, like for instance, the former accountant general is a governor. Okay? He needs to be drafted into the president economic team. Former MD of a bank, Bauchi governor, needs to be drafted into the president economic team. So you don't put up businessmen who are selfish people who want to make money on themselves and put them in your economic team. It's all about how they will be able to cut corners. So if you look at the president economic team, they are businessmen who are looking for one waiver or the other for their own benefit. But if you put people who are elected, more of them in the economic team, they know because when they go back home, the masses are waiting for them. But the businessmen is all about, they want to buy more planes, more private jets, want to buy more yachts, they want to build a house in Dubai, so look at areas. So I want to suggest that the federal government should take more people into the economic team, that are elected, more than the private sector people.
More than the private sector people, I'm still speaking to El Osaro, who is the Director General of the Nigerian Governors Forum. As we begin to round out, what do you think the diasporic community, especially Nigeria, can benefit from this Governors Forum? Why, for example, the image of Nigeria has been dented, to be honest, with this crisis that has been noted because the leaders somehow disagree from 19 to 16 or 16 to 19. What can the diaspora community gain? What can they?
I don't know where you got the 19 and the 16 from.
Everybody has that figure.
Okay, let them call a meeting. Let them call a meeting. No, let them call a meeting to see if they'll get 19. The meeting, that's what we're saying. Where did they get the vote from? So they called a meeting last week, 15 came, 14 and a half. 14 governors, 1 deputy, 15. So where's the 19?
Just like looking into the National Assembly before we go back into the answer. Many people say members of the National Assembly hardly actually attend a lot of sessions. But when there is an issue of maybe extra cost or a big bill, then you find a full house. And it's all noted on TV. So what about the possibility, the same thing that people decided not to turn up when you think maybe they will. But now because there's a major stake at hand, that's why most of the governors do turn up. And again, since January this year, a lot of people have been following the Nigerian Governor Forum to the point that everybody knows that the River State governor is going for a second term.
As what?
As the chairman of the Nigerian
No, for the constitution does not.
It does not, but everybody knows that.
Yeah, because he has used propaganda, to drive that image with the collaboration of some few governors from the Southwest. I'm sorry to say. Because they are using the Governors Forum to destabilize another political party and also to hit the president on his face. Because before Jang came, they have been using the word Amici versus Jonathan. Jonathan is not a governor. So what has the chairman Governors Forum got to do with the president? Let me also tell you one thing you must know. Some of the governors, why they wanted Amici to step down, why they wanted Amici that you cannot contest. Our constitution says 2 years single term. 2 things. You can't have conflict of interest. You are at war with Mr. President over oil wells in rivers, between Rivers and Bayelsa. So, if you speak as Chairman Governors Forum, if you speak as Rivers Governor over the oil well that is being relocated that's being given to Bayelsa, at the same time, you are speaking as Chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum. The governors don't need anybody that will drive them back. You cannot be having a local issue with Mr. President and still be Chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum. Because last week, you heard what happened between him and the Commissioner of Police. He talked about leading people to protest against the oil wells that were taken from River State. Who took the oil well? The federal government that was given to Bayelsa. And we have failed to find out the genesis of the oil well. People have not bothered to find out when was the oil well taken away. Are you aware that Akwa Ibom State, they are paying back money to River State for the oil well that was taken from them? But nobody's talking about it.
Maybe Akwa Ibom doesn't mind giving them the money.
No, because if you look at the history of this oil well, Cross River, they took oil well from Cross River and gave back to Akwa Ibom. The governor of Cross River didn't come out to start attacking the president. The history of the oil well from Bayelsa to Rivers State, we know the genesis of it. It was given to Odili because Odili was close to Obasanjo. The same thing, it was given to Cross River. They took Akwa Ibom and gave to Cross River. Because if you have to look at the politics of them, those who were fighting for resource control.
So it's all favors to all the people. Back to the diaspora. What do you think they can gain out of this Kwango or Semi organization?
Well, from the new leadership of Jang, I assure you, if you have been watching what we've been doing, there have been a lot of positive things we have been doing so far. But in another 1 month or 2 months, we are going to try as much as possible to bring confidence into the forum. We would also like the diaspora, you know. That is why I said we needed to collaborate with you so that issues concerning diaspora, issue concerning the forum, whenever you are in UK, people will get to know about it. So let them know that the forum is a positive forum. The forum is not there to shunt anybody. The forum is there to collaborate. The forum is there to share ideas among states. The forum is there to drive the policies of the federal government to the grassroots. The forum was not set up as an opposition. The forum was not set up as a political party. So our brothers and sisters over there, it is for them to know. Most time when I go online, I see their response, I see they're hungry and stuff like that. But don't forget, it's a voluntary association. It is not in the Constitution.
Voluntary organization that has
Yes.
become very powerful.
Yes.
On a last note, what is your words to, because when we talk about the diaspora Nigerian community, we're basically talking about every Nigerian outside Nigeria, from Africa to Europe, to Americas, to Canada, to Asia, all around the world. They are looking for jobs to come back home. What can the Nigerian Governors Forum offer? In the sense that you have...
Nigerian Governors Forum does not create jobs.
But just like you say,
it's a peer group. It's a peer group. They compare notes.
They compare notes.
Yes.
But what we're saying on behalf of the Nigerians outside the country is that you have qualified, trained, professional Nigerians who really want to come home. You are the Director General
Yes.
of maybe 36 governors.
Yes.
And what we're saying is, if you at least render the services of this Nigerian outside the country, say they are available. You're from Bauchi, you're from Kano, you're from Imo State. We have 10 Nigerians in the diaspora who are accountants, who are doctors. Those are the kind of things that we feel the forum should be able to deliver.
No. The forum is to promote the unity. The secretary is to promote the unity of the forum. The forum is also to assist the governors to sell their projects and programs to the international community, to development partners. It is now left for Nigerians in diaspora to key into their individual state.
Through the forum. Because
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. To key into individual state, to know what their state governors are doing. Because the forum is not an employment agency. Okay?
But actually,
Wait. The forum is not an employment agency. It can never be an employment agency. The forum is just a non-governmental organization, an NGO. The only thing we can do, we can recommend you to your state governors. If you are from Katsina, we can say, Katsina governor, we have 10 or 15 people from your state who are qualified. We run it. If I run into Nigerians who are brilliant in China, or they say, oh, which state are you from? Okay, so we'll come back. Not that the forum will carry it on his head. Okay.
No, but at least forum is one.
Yes.
And we have few forums and organizations and societies.
Definitely.
That we can
Definitely.
That's what we are asking.